Bob Pollock is with us from the Extension Service. He is brought to us by our good friends at Marcus and Mack, a law firm representing injured people. Let me do this first. Let me press a couple of buttons. We'll do this, and then we'll do this, and then we'll do this, and then we'll do that again. And Bob, you should be there. Are you there? I did my magic.
Yes.
Okay, he's here.
It was working.
All right, good shape.
Your magic worked.
You can give Bob a call at 479-1160 if you have a question about your yard or your garden or whatever it might be that he could take a shot at. One of the things, Bob, that I was thinking about is we told you a couple of weeks ago that killer frost we got there in May took care of the first layer of new growth on the shrubs. I'm surprised, and I guess I shouldn't be, how quickly shrubs recover from that. And maybe we can talk about that in just a moment. But first, we have a caller. We have a caller with the question this morning. Good morning.
Good morning. My call has to do with the green beans. I planted them. They came up wonderfully. However, they have 4 leaves on them now, and it seemed like after the rain the other night when I went out to check the garden, they part of the leaves was curled up and looked kind of leathery and felt leathery and was sort of a creamy color as opposed to being, the standard green color. And I have not had that confront me before. So what is it? What do I do?
Work your magic there, Robert.
All right. So they seem to be a little leathery and crinkly. One thing to check, did you look at the undersides of the leaves?
Yes, and I didn't look at it with a magnifying glass, but it didn't seem to be anything under there, and the leaf is kind of retreating. Doesn't appear to be eaten, but it's shrinking back.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, we could have a root issue there. That maybe the whole plant's starting to decline, which could go back to a root issue, and a couple things there that could be disease related. It's been pretty dry, and so there could be. Were you watering them?
Yes, and as I said, they had a beautiful start.
And the other thing, if they've been watered and there was moisture in the ground, we had a couple pretty hot days there. There could be some insects feeding on the roots is one possibility. But to figure that out, you got to do some digging around a plant to see if you can find anything that might, or pull a plant up to see if the roots are there or if they're missing. And then also look at the color of the roots, whether they're a lighter color, more towards white, or whether they're starting to shrink and blacken. So that's one thing to look at. The other is sometimes we'll get aphids, which typically feed on the undersides of the leaves, and they could cause them to crinkle. They're sap feeders, so they will suck the sap out of the leaves. They can get a pretty healthy population built up pretty quickly that they could start to cause the plant to decline.
Would something like 7 help that, Bob? Would it kill the aphids?
Yeah, you can use that. You can use an insecticidal soap. Aphids aren't real hard to kill, but they can populate pretty quickly that you could have a dense... You could have 50 or more of them on the bottom of one leaf in a matter of a week's time. They're kind of interesting critters in that the stem mother or the adult can give birth without mating. So she can just crank out these little aphids pretty quickly. And they'll usually be green in color, almost the same color as the bean leaf. So unless you look really closely, you could miss them. You can see them without magnification, and you'll see them crawling around. And the other way to do that is just take a piece of white paper, hold it underneath the leaf, and tap the top of the leaf. That'll knock some of them off if they're there.
Yeah.
And then they're easier to see, and you can see them moving around.
The good news is that if it doesn't recover in a week or so, there's plenty of time to do a second planting of beans. And, yeah.
That's true, and it might just be...
Are
they all doing that, or just a few?
No, it's not 100%.
Okay.
It's maybe 40%, and it just seems to be the leaves that are most recently emerged.
Okay.
And there, now the other thing was, is there a lawn nearby? Was there any weed control treatments done or anything?
No.
Anybody
No.
spraying
anything? I don't use herbicides around my garden, and my neighbor doesn't either. So.
Okay.
Occasionally, a product like 2,4-D or in that same class of products can volatilize a little bit, and that drift can get on plants, and beans are one of those plants that are sensitive to that.
All right,
which
so
can cause them to crinkle and curl.
The plant can recover, though, if it's not something that is attacking it, and maybe that's something we look forward to and see how it develops over a week or so.
And if all else fails, I can drop it by your office.
That's true. You could do that also.
Yeah. If all else fails, I know a good place that has green beans.
Yeah.
All right. Very good.
Guys.
Thank you. We'll see you. See? We can fix problems here, Bob.
That's right. We can solve them.
Who needs you? I mean, I could fix this.
That's right. You don't even need to look at it, do you?
All right, 479-1160 is open if you want to try to fit in a quick call. But, Bob, if we don't get a call, let's tackle this subject of the shrubs now are greening up again after that frost, and it is time. When shrubs, mine, they're used, we're going to have to wait on that question again for another week because we've got another caller. Let's get him. Okay, good morning.
Hey, good morning. This is a question about a pernicious weed. I have not seen this weed before, but it's everywhere in my yard, along every edge, and it looks like a dandelion, but it's got a very jagged, almost a thistle-like weed, and produces a little yellow flower. I'm treating it with 2,4-D, and that'll make it go away, but where did it come from? It suddenly just appeared this year.
Pernicious weeds. They come from Pernicious, New Mexico. Just kidding. Maybe we'll ask the real expert. Bob, take it.
Yeah. So a yellow flower, that could be what's called black medic.
Okay.
Is a possibility. If it's low to the ground, bright yellow flower, that's a possibility. So those things can get moved in as seeds. They easily cycle and go to seed, and can get in from the edges. Look around. Do any of your neighbors have them, or anywhere close by that you can see? But I
don't know about that, but I will look. And 2,4-D would be the proper treatment.
If it's as long as it's a broad-leafed plant, then yes, that would be. And most of the weed killers have 2,4-D in it, or a combination of that and a couple of other materials. And sometimes the combination products work better, especially on things that are a little tougher to kill. So they'll work on the dandelions. You usually have to have a combo product to take care of clover. and it would help with the black medic as well. Although if you do a repeated treatment, knock it back.
Okay.
If it
Black
comes back,
medic. I've never heard of it, but thank you very much for your information. Appreciate
hey,
it.
you're welcome.
Yeah, I was just looking at the black medic. The weeds on a black medic are pom-pom shaped. I got nothing out of you out of that, huh?
Yeah, they're kind of round. They look a little bit like a clover plant.
Yeah. Okay. All righty. Well, that's we're happy we're able to help him with that one pretty quickly, and I hope that black medic is what he has. From what I'm reading, it's pretty easy to get rid of.
It's not too difficult, but it's kind of in that medium group. And depending on the number of seeds that are there, you could kill the plants that are there now, but then some more seeds germinate to spread. But that's typical. A lot of the broad-leafed weeds can be controlled with 2,4-D or 2,4-D containing products. Will work on most of those weeds.
This
now,
particular
ground ivy, the ground ivy is a tougher one. That even with the combination products, it usually takes multiple treatments to get it out because it roots every inch. Everywhere there's a node on that plant and a pair of leaves come up, and it creeps through the ground. You've got to, even if you leave one of those joints, it will keep growing and keep spreading, and so it can be a little bit challenging to take care of it.
It's interesting that it says that it's an indicator that your soil has problems. If you get black medic, it means your soil is probably too compacted. It needs to be aerated.
And a lot of weeds are that way because we have conditions that aren't allowing the grass to be as aggressive and grow as well as it should. So if the lawn's a little more open, if we don't have the grass plants there that we want to and nice and thick, then we leave openings where we can see the soil, and that allows opportunities for weed seeds to land, but also get exposed to the light and then be able to germinate and grow.
All right. There you go. All right. Well, we're out of time. So we are. This has been fun.
Yeah, well, that's good. I'm glad you're having fun this morning.
Fox News is up next. Thanks, Bob.
You're welcome. Thank you.
It is the voice of Indiana County, WCCS, AM 1160 and 101.1 FM. 101.1 FM.